The way I set goals is a bit different than how I think most people set them.
Let's listen to him.
And I'll give you an example between myself and my chief operating officer. His name is Ben. And what Ben will do is he'll look to the past. And I think this is a fairly conventional way of setting goals. You look at the past, the data, and we have lots of data, how our channel's doing, who buys what, how often, lifetime customer value. Based on that, he determines actions and goals. It's very much grounded in reality. And I think that's fine for lots of people. But the way I do things is I think about where...
That's one way of setting a goal. You do a traditional way of setting a goal. You look at past performance and you average it out, then plan for, hey, we done this much last time. That means we can go 10% or 15% more. Very traditional, conventional goal setting.
I'd like to be in a given amount of time, 1, 3, 5, 10 years from now, and set a goal. Oftentimes it's based on no data and fairly unrealistic.
You take a leap of faith, but not in literal sense leap of faith. It's not like a blindly or madly saying something, but you have a hunch and you are setting a bigger goal and keeping this in mind, like coming 5-year, 10-year, like you have that long-term perspective in your head and you're setting these goals, which may not be rational.
When I set this goal, I tell the team, I want to do $7 million of revenue this year. They look at me like, are you crazy? We just hit 4.5. Where'd you get the number 7 from? And my answer is because I believe we can do it. The reason why I point out the differences between these two models is if Ben looked at the numbers and our growth pattern, he might let's go for $5.5 million, $1 million of additional revenue.
It might sound irrational, but there is some conviction.
And it's based on numbers, projections, financial modeling. But here's the problem with that is you're going to do more of what you've done before, and you're less likely to make a big move to change the game entirely.
If you don't have this bigger goal, you might end up doing what you have been doing, maybe incrementally better, but not going to discover something new. So unless you don't push, you don't discover something new, frontiers, you're not going to bring transformation. You might do a 10%, 15% improvement, but not transformation. So just to get that needful push, you need to sometimes have these kind of goals which can push you to think from a different direction.
So when I say $7 million, it's subjective and arbitrary. It's unlike the number 7. The team has to ask, if we do what we did last year, there's no way we can increase the revenue by $2.5 million because it's not in the model. It forces people to think, what is a big move we have to make? We're willing to have many small gambles.
Once you have these goals, you realize that, hey, what we have been doing, if we do a thing, we're never going to achieve those goals. So we have to do certain things differently, take small gambles to see breakthroughs. As a team, individual, organization, you'll start thinking, hey, what we do, in the sense it forces you to think and do something different so that you're able to achieve the goal.
To reach your big goal. I like working this way. And this is how I also coach people. It's like, what kind of
This aspect works. Of course, there's a daredevil aspect to it, but this produces results and brings transformation in the individual's life, in the organization life. It has a good amount of transformation quality